Aloha! Happy 4th of July, everyone. I'm here just to kind of touch base with everybody, let everybody know what's going on. I have been swamped putting together my curriculum and courses. It's been good, though. I have never been this productive, and it's all thanks to Wild Success. They've helped me really kind of organize all my information, so it takes me from being the crazy old man on the mountain to actually projecting myself out into the business world. So it's exciting. Instead of reaching one person at a time in happen chance meetings, I'm now able to kind of create events and bring people in. Speaking of, my next event is 7/7 at 7 p.m. So July 7th at 7 p.m. is Ignite the Phoenix. So it's going to be kind of a quick intro into like kind of explaining in the intro class of what Spark of the Phoenix is. And from Spark of the Phoenix, that really teaches you to kind of make your mind more flexible, think about things in different ways. We go through and do hypnosis exercise and clear blocks, and it's really an amazing next step. After that, I haven't even fully put this one together, but it's going to be the Flames of the Phoenix. I'm going to throw out the syllabus, and this is going to be all off of my cuff. It's going to be an amazing class. It's going to be a lot of hypnosis, a lot of going in and penetrating deep down into your darkest secret blocks that are holding you back, and it's going to be amazing. So that's going to be just kind of the preview and screening process to get into the Rise of the Phoenix retreats. I'm excited about this. We're going to do it in probably Costa Rica. I'm feeling it out, maybe Vanuatu. But this one's going to be unique because we're going to do classroom during the day. So we're going to, and the classroom is not going to look like a classroom, even, kind of like a lecture hall. We're probably going to be hanging out on the beach. On the beach, we're going to be hanging out somewhere cool. And it's going to be a very, very much a conversation. We're going to have maybe an outline of where we're going with this. However, it's going to be just all by intuition. So we might have the syllabus might be 5 or 10 or more topics, but like one-line topics. Okay, who has a block in this area? Okay, let's delve into it. Let's do a hypnosis meditation to figure out where everybody is being held back. Okay, let's tackle that. Let's tackle that. Let's tackle that. So it's going to be basically an intensive coaching weekend. And then at night, so after we kind of do that, at night, we will have journey work scheduled. Probably mushrooms, but we'll see. Whatever plant calls to us, maybe MDMA. If it is a lot of trauma blocks, MDMA is great for PTSD and other traumas. That one just really kind of helps you let go of it. So that might be the capstone for the weekend, doing the MDMA ceremony, possibly peyote. I love peyote. Peyote is just absolutely heart-opening. I've only gotten to do it once, believe it or not, in Mexico City. The peyote ceremony was with a Macumbo trained shaman. Very interesting. It was soaked in mezcal. So I actually drank a little bit of mezcal peyote tincture. And it tasted really good. It was, we got people signing on. Let me see. Well, I forgot to do the intro. Let me do the intro and I'll bring up the comments.
Welcome to today's episode of Spinning Yarn. Brian Daniel Edwards has traveled the world studying with spiritual adepts, initiates, and elders. In most cases, some of the greatest secrets and amazing information were revealed through an informal exchange of storytelling, oftentimes referred to as spinning yarn. Join the Infinite Love Movement as we spin yarn. Feel free to interact, ask questions, and comment. We will be doing live healing and coaching for those who participate and ask. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for future conversations with Brian.
Okay, now let's get into it. Where were we at? We're in Mexico City. That adventure was kind of a bittersweet experience. Some of the adventure. Now, Mexico City, it was cool, had a lot of cool things in it. But when you got out of Mexico City up into Hidalgo, oh my goodness, it just opened up and my heart soared. It was just an amazing experience. So the noise, the chaos of Mexico City, it's really cool to see and experience. However, it just kind of wears on you. Like walking around the streets in New York City, it's just packed. A lot of noise, a lot of chaos, a lot of different energies, layer upon layer of civilizations and energies, and it's just a lot to deal with. However, I got out of that kind of stinky, smelly city on my motorcycle, and I'm going up the mountains, the high desert mountains of Hidalgo, and it was just beautiful. I got up to farm country, and it was so peaceful. You just stop in the middle of the road on these mountains and get some amazing pictures, and there's nobody. It was absolutely silent, which was just this strange juxtaposition from the chaos and noise and constant drone of traffic in Mexico City. It up in Hidalgo was absolutely beautiful, and that's where I went to Tula, possibly twice. Maybe once when I was in the hospital, they saw me and talked to me and spoke with me at the archaeological site of Tula while I was still in the hospital with cyanide poisoning. So that was really interesting, a possible bifurcation or physical bilocation. There's a lot of question marks around that one because it wasn't just like the shaman saw me. The shaman, the vendors, the site curators, and the federal law enforcement all saw me there. Got lost and ended up getting interrogated because they thought I was a tomb raider or something. Because I got lost in the underbrush, and they're like, "Where were you? We've seen you here every day." And I'm like, "What are you talking?" And it was all in Spanish. So it was a very interesting conversation. But yes, the journey work. So peyote, I did that in Mexico City, and it was just beautiful. I didn't feel really out of sorts with it. Besides just feeling this warm glow and like this heart opening, it was just absolutely amazing. And I could think about it. I could like astral project or remote view to anywhere I wanted to see. And the peyote's like, "Why are you knocking on my door? Why do you need me right now? You don't need me." And I'm like, "Oh." So then I took the time for that journey to go and do healing for others. And then I kind of touched base with them, and they're like, "I really felt you strongly, and like things have shifted." And so it was a really cool experience. But at the Rise of the Phoenix retreat, I'd love to do it somewhere where we can do journey work. Dulce. She is from Mexico City. She's in Mexico City. A good friend of mine. I met her in 2002 down in the Riviera Maya, kind of more towards Tulum, kind of. Well, between probably Playa del Carmen and Tulum. Just absolutely beautiful area on the Yucatan. Oh, yep, it was 2002. That was just an amazing experience. We met on the bus tour going from Chichen Itza to a cenote. That's probably my favorite part of Mexico, down in the Yucatan. Just absolutely beautiful down there. The peyote experience was beautiful. Did it with a Macumbo, and it was just a really beautiful experience. So I'd love to have that. So I don't know if we can do journey work in Mexico. Dulce, do you know anything about that? Is it legal? I know there's a lot of shamans and other people that do journey work there and have journey work retreats, but would there be a way of hosting a retreat down there and being able to provide journey work for the people coming to the retreat? Is that something maybe I can look into before hosting it? Maybe try and figure out who can offer what. And then there's always Peru, Iquitos. If you want ayahuasca, that's kind of the way to go into the jungle. However, the logistics of it for hosting a retreat and being able to broadcast that live, Mexico still has a lot of technology and a lot of infrastructure Thanks for joining us. Happy Independence Day. So in Mexico City, or a lot of places in Mexico, it's still really high tech. There's internet access. Okay, I don't know what's going on with the internet today, but there's internet access. There's, it's really well set up. And am I low on internet? Someone, if you can toss a comment up, if I sound okay and if my video is okay, let me know. I'm not sure why I'm having internet problems right now. So hosting it in Mexico is near and dear to my heart. I've gone there since the time I was a young child. It's always called me back. And until recently, I've been taken there. So then the last time I went to Mexico, it was my choice. And it was, I went to a different area of Mexico City, but I'd love to go down into Palenque and some of the like inner areas of the jungle and explore that. Belize would be an option, except plant journey work is illegal there, as far as I know, unless legislation has changed. I was thinking Costa Rica would be a good option, or Vanuatu. I know a lot of people go to Vanuatu for journey work. That's way down in the South Pacific, kind of by Fiji, Bora Bora, French Polynesia. So down there, and that's a long ride down there. Whereas, don't forget Puebla. Culture in that state is wonderful. I don't know if I've actually made it to Puebla. I really love to go and kind of go on walkabout in Mexico and explore it. After almost dying a few times, I don't know about being a gringo, walking around or driving around on my own. I really think I could do it. I felt safe. It was only, I was in a really bad neighborhood, and that's when I got robbed at gunpoint by the cartel, and that kind of ended that trip quickly because everything I had got taken. But besides that, I mean, I was safe most of the time. Even the guys with the guns didn't shoot me. I walked out alive. So I died with the cyanide. I got poisoned with cyanide, and I died, and I came back, and a full 24 hours later, I still had above lethal levels of cyanide in my blood. Mexico. Puebla is amazing. You can eat very delicious food. I'd love it. I love Mexican cooking. Unfortunately, my diet has got a little bit stricter. My body's forced me to purify, and I can't always eat the food anymore. So I cook my own food, and basically if I don't cook it, I don't eat it. Now it's so many things can, yeah. But anyhow, so I'm trying to find where to do the retreat, but that's a couple steps out. I'm going to run the Ignite the Phoenix webinar next week, 7/7 at 7. Eastern time or New York time if you're elsewhere. I'm excited. It's kind of going to be like this. I'm going to have a little bit more organized, and we're going to have delve into some topics, maybe do some hypnosis, maybe some belief statement clearing. By the way, if anybody has any questions, pop them up. Feel free to ask. I love to interact, and it kind of gives me more material to talk about. So after that, after I run the webinar a few times, I'll probably run Ignite the Phoenix probably once a week until the Spark of the Phoenix class, which is July 31st to August 1st. I'm excited about that one because I did it once. I know how to tweak it, what to do. I have the exercises figured out. Everybody that showed up to class last time was wonderful. They made it just so much fun. We had so much fun. Everybody was able to voice their opinion. And this is something very important. This is something we all need to do. Some people strongly, fervently disagreed. And I'm like, hey, that's okay. We don't all have to believe the same thing. And usually in a situation, it would have ended in like a fighting match. And I'm like, hey, no, I got to play cat herder and keep everybody in line and keep everybody from killing each other. But no, it was an interesting experience where people could disagree. People could, think yellow is the best color and others think purple is the best color. And you know what? That's okay. We can have a discussion about it. There's no need to get upset. We can talk about what each of us believes and not get upset about it. And that's really something we have to work on in this world. You believe this, I believe that. Hey, it's okay. We don't have to believe the same thing. But it's been really, our freedom has been really dinged. And that's something I kind of wanted to get into. I'm afraid to get in too deep with this because I don't want to get my accounts taken down. But freedom has been eroded. Read the Constitution. Read the Constitution of the United States. It is, I've traveled a lot, and all around the world, it's not quite the same thing as the United States. I was in Australia, and they really don't have rights down there. Yep, I thought they took my video down. Okay, not yet. But in Australia, they don't have free speech. So you can get in trouble for people who are getting arrested for comments that they're posting on Facebook. It's a monarchy. It is direct rule by crown in Australia. And right now, again, it's become a prison colony. The world needs to step in and go, wait, this is not cool. They're talking about forcibly vaccinating people, having the military take over. Right now, Australians, unless it's special purpose and you have business with over X amount of people working for you, you can't leave the country. Australians are literally in a prison colony. Nobody in, nobody out. That's not really talked about on the mainstream right now. They're getting locked down. It's really bad. The whole rest of the world has tapped out of the game and, okay, we're not playing that anymore. We're not entering a medical dictatorship. And really, that's what it was. You know, you call it, you know, disagree on what it was, how it happened. It doesn't matter. What it became was a medical dictatorship. Arbitrary rules could be made. And I saw one of the most disgusting things ever. This was the Army band, United States Army band, playing instruments. And they had holes cut in the face mask so they can blow their air through the instrument and project their air out. What? Say what? Is this just me? Am I going crazy? Like, the mask is to like stop the airflow, right? Well, you're blowing through an instrument that projects it out. Like, what on earth? We've lost our goddamn minds. Like, seriously, people. Like, how does that do anything? Oh, Tammy joined. Hi, Tammy. Thanks for joining in. And it's gotten bad. There's no more common sense in the world. In kind of a little background story, I'll start it off in an interesting way. I was studying with my friend Ryan in Hawaii. Very unique gentleman. He had so much native knowledge. He was tapped in, really tapped in, at one with the environment. He did journey work one time. He was paddled out on his surfboard and he was in journey space and he surrendered himself. He just kind of let go and said, hey, that's it. You know, Mother Ocean, if you want to take me, take me. I put 100% faith in you. And out there, you know, drifting around, there's tiger sharks, great whites sometimes, giant cephalopods such as giant octopus, giant squid. He was at the mercy of the ocean and he just fully released himself. And then he found himself right on the beach after he just washed up on the beach right where he's supposed to be. So talk about a test of faith. He put his faith right into the ocean and it brought him back. It was really amazing to hear his stories. But we're climbing up a mountain to go to a very, very sacred site, very important heiau. And there was a dead pig in the river. And he was very deeply upset about that. He felt that it was hunters. They had killed the pig and tossed it into the river. And that is a major kapoo. You do not mess with a public water supply. water can kill people. If that dead animal, if people were relying on that water to drink and that was contaminating the water, people could die. You don't poison the water, you don't contaminate the water. That's a major kapu, punishable by death. And kind of leading into another interesting piece of news that I just heard recently. In California, they've dumped trillions of gallons of water to save some fish, which aren't even endangered. So they emptied their backup water supply into the ocean. Water is sacred. People need water to survive. Even farmers need water to produce food. So what on earth to save a few little minnows? Okay, what are they actually trying to do? What is their mission? What are they trying to accomplish here? I really doubt it was to save those minnows. From what I've heard, they're trying to trash California property values. So if there's no water, people have to move out. And then when it becomes a ghost town, guess what? It can go in and snatch everything up for pennies on the dollar. They collapsed the housing bubble. They popped it, and it is going to come plummeting down. Now, water is sacred. What they did is a crime against humanity. People need to step up and go, people need to be held accountable here. That's absolutely unacceptable. That is a war crime, what they did. And they should be held accountable for that. No saving a few fish can justify starving out and creating an artificial drought in California. Absolutely wrong. And, it's bad. The government is way out of control. We need to stand up. Independence Day was about standing, and it's not the 4th of July. Independence Day. It's when we declared our independence from a tyrannical power. It's when the people became we the people, a country for the people, by the people. It's very important to go back and read the Constitution and see what it actually says, because they're doing a lot of things right now that are far outside of what the Constitution says they can do. The powers of the federal government are enumerated. In other words, basically, the Constitution says the government has these certain powers and they can do this or that. Anything outside of that, they cannot do. The states have more rights. The states are more powerful than the federal government. We forget about that. We're not a democracy. This is not mob rule. This is a republic. And everybody forgets about that. And now we've gotten so bizarre. It's minority rule democracy. What on earth? The majority of that's the whole point of democracy or a republic, is to have the best, highest good of, the most people looked at. And yes, we need to be respectful of everybody. We need to treat everybody with love, respect, and dignity, provide them the best and highest as we can. However, the way the land is going and everything, it's majority rule. So the most people vote on how society is because the most people then benefit. These small minority groups that are pushing their agenda against larger groups, it's okay. You want to have your whatever over there, that's fine. But don't push that on the nation. Here's a lot of weird stuff being done, and I'm not even gonna. I don't really care about politics. Everybody's crying right now. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. Chicken Little has screamed it so many times, and it's looking kind of bleak. But I have inside information. We're going to be okay. There is a lot of good people working for the best of all humanity. And I would love to go into this. I want to write a list of demands and take it up the ladder as high as it'll go. And one of them is release the secret technology, release the patents. Area 51, Groom Lake, Los Alamos, Sandia Labs, all those places, yeah, it just dropped a whole bunch of red flags. Boom, boom, boom. They're tapping in and going, who is this crazy guy behind the computer and why is he talking about us? But no, seriously, we need to release this technology for the betterment of humanity. I was trading in the stock market one day, and they're talking about the oil prices are falling and we need to figure out a way to keep those oil prices up so we don't lose money. Like, wait a second, that's the lifeblood that this country runs on. I don't care what your take is on the carbon burning or whatever. The fact and reality is right now, the vast majority of cars, trucks, construction equipment, ships run on oil. So as of right now, until they release better technology, that's the lifeblood of this country. And they're talking, so a few rich people could make money on oil futures. They're trying to keep the oil prices up. So that costs everything, the shipping costs, everything relies on that oil. So if the oil prices are up, everything costs more. And even the commodities. What we need to do, we need to ban commodities trading. Yeah, that might sound really revolutionary. That might sound crazy, but commodities are the commodities people need to live. It's food futures, it's natural gas futures, it is lumber futures, all these things which we need to live. They bid the prices up and create artificial inflation in these prices, in these markets to make money. That money does not go to the farmer. That money does not go to the miner. That money goes to line the rich people's pockets. Number one, when I'm put in charge, commodities trading is kaput. The other thing, medical. We are going to overhaul the medical system. As soon as I take charge, or a council that I'm on, or however this is going to look, if I have any sort of say, medical is going to look very, very different. Right now, it's for-profit medical, and it's owned by the stock market. So basically, these medical companies and pharmaceutical companies, they have a fiduciary duty to their shareholders to increase profits every quarter. Wait a second, what do you mean? Like, they're not, their duty isn't to the people taking these drugs, their duty isn't to the people that are receiving these treatments. No, the duty is to the shareholders. Whoa, huh? Yeah, no. Now we know why the medical system doesn't want to heal us. Now we know why, these pharmaceuticals are literally designed to be addictive, to create legal addicts. Whether it is an antipsychotic, it's really hard to get off of those antidepressants, anti-anxieties. Those mess with your brain chemistry and you basically become addicted. Lifetime customers. Diabetes medicine. We could probably find something else. They probably have something else in the programs. They're talking about releasing medbed technology. You hop into something that looks like an MRI, and through frequencies, it heals your body. Like, actually heals your body. Not just treats it, not just puts a Band-Aid on it. No, we're talking about heals it. And that's the technology we need right now. We need to help people. Think about Chantix. It's an antidepressant, but also a quitting smoking thing. Well, a lot of people end up committing suicide because it makes them it might, help your depression or send you into a suicidal fit. What? How is that even legal? And yet they market it on TV, right? Oh, ask your doctor. Like, what? We're creating a whole generation of hypochondriacs. They hear about something. Oh, I asked my doctor about that. I think I have that. Oh yeah, that sounds right. No, they shouldn't be able to market pharmaceuticals. The doctor should know about them. And then if they're in the best interest of the patient, they should get prescribed. Why would they market to people who aren't really medical professionals and aren't writing a prescription? If the doctor thinks it's best for you, it's best for you. But Chantix, there's another solution. Instead of Chantix, there has been clinical trials done with psilocybe genus of mushrooms. So those mushrooms in 2 sessions have an 80% success rate in quitting smoking. 80% success rate. Chantix doesn't even come close to that. Not in 2 doses, basically. No way. And in the psilocybe genus of mushrooms, no side effects. Well, actually, it does have side effects. It creates neurogenesis. You grow new brain cells. So if you take the Paul Stamets protocol, psilocybe mushrooms, lion's mane mushrooms, and niacin, a B vitamin, enhances thinking. And like a little bit of mushrooms. We're talking microdosing, not like journey doses. So that, yeah. Or instead of using methadone to wean people off of opium products, well, what is that? That's just legal heroin. Like, oh, wow, you did them a huge service. Now they have to come to you to get their fix. No. In Chipsa Hospital in Tijuana, they use an African shamanic plant called Iboga. Very unique. The active ingredient is called Ibogaine. 95% success rate in curing addiction over a 15-year study that they did in Chipsa Hospital in Tijuana. It's used all around the world, but not legal here. Why? Because it would get rid of repeat customers. That's not good for the pharmaceutical companies. It's good for you, but not for their wallets. We can't have that. And the other part why they don't want people doing that is because it's inseparable from a spiritual experience. So even though that they do it in a clinical setting in Chipsa Hospital, they use the extract, the Ibogaine extract, not the full alkaloid iboga root, they still have a deeply profound spiritual experience of going into themselves. And having iboga is a very unique plant. When you're in journey space with iboga, the journey lasts 12 to 72 hours. It's a harrowing journey. And it's a very terse and real, especially if you've gotten to the point where you're basically going to do iboga or die from your addiction. It's a terse and real conversation of you having a conversation with yourself in a very vivid alter reality. So it's a unique plant instead of like mushrooms or ayahuasca where it's kind of etheric and dreamlike. No, it's very real. Very. I actually would like to do that someday for going inward and learning more about myself and clearing out any blocks that are left. You know, I'm constantly discovering more things like, whoa, I didn't realize that was there. Okay, I'm going to let go of that. Beliefs that I have, blocks that I have, just anything limiting me. I'm constantly trying to figure out how to get rid of more of that. And guess what? That all ends up in my class. I learned the best ways to find what's blocking me, what's holding me back, and I learned how to clear it efficiently, and that's what I do in the class. It's really amazing. Anybody in the class here watching? Joseph, are you here? Nope. Okay. So Tammy popped up a question. Liv's right ear started ringing while watching you. She wants to know your thoughts. Okay. Oftentimes you get information coming in, and it's either like a phone ringing or information coming in too fast for you to consciously perceive it. But I've had it sometimes where it's so intense it almost knocks me to my knees. Like all of a sudden, boom, it's just ringing and it sounds like a waterfall. I'm like, okay, who's here? What are you trying to tell me or warn me about? And so when you get that, you just got to stop and kind of quiet your mind and go, okay, who's ever trying to tell me something, please give it to me in a message that I can understand. And it happens a lot. You know, it's not tinnitus. Tinnitus would be a more consistent ringing. It's one ear or the other ear, and the different tones. My one friend, he gets tones. So when he does journey work, he will all of a sudden start hearing the tones, and then he'll just kind of go off into it, and he'll drift off into journey space. Well, while he's not doing journey work with plants, sometimes he gets the tones. So he can then either just lay down or sit down and meditate and go off with the tones of, it's basically frequencies from these different sacred plants. And it allows him to go off in a very similar, equally as vivid, equally as powerful journey space as if he had taken journey plants. So yeah, we've covered a lot today, a lot in a little bit. So does anybody have any questions? I'd love to hear some shout outs and see what's going on with everybody. See if anybody needs some help with anything. I need help with ads. Does anybody know about ads? I'd love to do affiliate marketing. If you'd like to market for me, I'd be happy to give you a cut of the profits that you bring in. Oh, okay. Tammy said, thank you. You're very welcome. So if anybody, I'm in a business launch program, and it's really helped set up and understand how I can set my classes up. And even watching and access consciousness classes and kind of seeing the flow of events, I'm kind of pulling from this genre, that genre, that genre. And we talked about everything from astrophysics and mathematics to just all this wild stuff in the last class. It's like, how does it fit together? It's all tied together. So that was a really amazing class. I just can't, like, I was just loving it. When I was up there, I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do. Not the marketing. I don't like the marketing. I want somebody to hand me the microphone and I step out on stage. That's what I want. So if someone's a manager or knows a manager or somebody is in marketing, if you can get people in the classes, I don't like doing that. I like helping people and changing people's lives. And that's honestly been kind of a block of mine, is not valuing money. This might sound crazy. However, we all have value systems and they all stack up. And I've been learning about this through Wild Success Masters of Coaching and NLP. It's really kind of driven the point home for me. The values are reflected in our life. And we kind of stumbled across this in my class and actually through other conversations I've had. There's what you believe, your deep core values. There's what you think you believe. And then there's what you tell people that you believe. Not always are all those congruent. And then from what you actually believe, here's your behaviors over here. So you think you believe this, you say you believe that, but what does your behavior in the last 90 days indicate? And for me, I was looking at it, I'm like, I don't care about money because what I need is manifested into my life. If I want something, boom, it shows up, the resources to get it, or it's just given to me. You know, it's like, don't limit how abundance flows to you. So it's been very hard for me to go, I want money, give me money. And it's like, nah, I'm here to help. And it always flows to me, which is great. However, I want to amass the resources to make a larger impact. I want to be on a stage and change people's lives for, 1,000 at a time. So if I can do that, if I can impact people on a much greater scale than one person at a time, that's my goal. And as the world is right now, it is Johnny's on. Hey, Johnny, so great to see you're watching. Do you want to hop on? Do you want to talk? I can send you the link. Johnny's awesome. She sent hello again. I got to tour Australia with her with her paranormal and cryptid research team. Oh, we stumbled into some things that were beyond what is out there. What is, let me see if I will. Sorry about this. I'm just sending an invite. So we got to see so many places. We encountered yowies, which are basically the Australian Bigfoot. I have a picture of a footprint that's probably 16 inches long. It was massive in the creek bed after we had encountered them the night before. Okay. So let's see. Did you get the link? I know nothing of Independence Day. Independence Day is the day we declared independence from Great Britain, or the British Empire. Americans had it. We were crying no taxation without representation. They kept raising the taxes on the colony, even though we had no say in government. So this is a problem that's worldwide. Great Britain owns a lot more than you think. It's even in Australia, there's large swathes of land that are called Crown land, where it's owned by the British royal family, and nobody can do anything with it because they own it. It's just their land. Okay, yeah, no worries. Just hop on. I'd love to have you. I sent you the link. Let me know if you get it. I will add you to the stream as soon as we do. Do I have any Australian pictures? I'll throw them up as the background. Let me see. Oh, I have a picture from one of the places we're on, actually Wollongong. So, okay, hopefully she'll pop on in the next minute or two. I sent her the link. Let me know if you get that. She's probably just signing in now. So, okay, very exciting. We went to so many adventures. We went to Dagular Park, and I woke up early in the morning, and I was walking down towards the waterfall, and I got surrounded by yowies. They're hiding in the bushes or the brush, and they started tossing rocks my way, and I was surrounded by them, and I could hear them walking through the underbrush alongside of me. And okay, add to stream.
And they started my way.
Hey, it's great to see you.
Hello. How are you?
I'm great. How have you been?
I think we might have a bit of a delay.
Yeah, sometimes it happens when we're in Australia, or when it's the opposite side of the world. Do you recognize that picture behind in the background?
Yeah, sometimes
that is on Wollongong. So we had this amazing experience encountering yowies, and we're walking down the road, and we got surrounded by the yowies. That was a wild time. And then we did.
I can actually hear you talking twice.
Oh, I can hear it. Do you have earbuds you can put in?
Talking twice. How you would think?
I can hear it.
How do we do that?
Do you have another way to like headphones or something that you can put on so it doesn't get the echo?
It stopped. What did you do?
Maybe it just adjusted itself. Okay, well, it is what it is. Why don't you tell everybody about your venture?
I'm construction site, so I'm looking like Haggerty Ann.
Nah, you look.
I love
fine.
the backdrop.
Yeah.
So cool.
So, why don't you tell everybody about Parakrypt and what you do and how amazing your abilities are being able to sense when we go to some of these places. You were spot on in being able to see and feel and communicate with the spirits in these places, or even the animals, and being able to feel the heartbeats of these animals around you.
Yeah, so with Parakrypt, it's a paranormal and cryptic research. We investigate. We go out bush quite a lot. We do a lot of Tasmanian tiger, big black cat, so the Australian panther, thylacoleos. We research yowies, known as the Australian Bigfoot. We do, paranormal investigations. A lot of the stuff that we've found in our research, we tend to do a lot of the Aboriginal sacred areas. We've found massacre sites in the bush. We've found, we go into just different locations, and we find whatever we can find from those locations. And then we just continue to research until we've ascertained enough data that we're satisfied with. As for me and my little gifty, I have an ability where I am able to project in the bush. What did you do? And from that, I'm able to pick up animals on the mountains. I seem to sort of have I don't know. It's easier to sort of logically put it down to a telepathic connection to yowies, but that's never been proven by anybody scientifically. So it's just, again, my hearsay and the people who come out with me who experience that within themselves. I don't know what else. What else can you say about it?
It's just amazing.
Brian had a ball.
So something I found really interesting that I would like to bring to light is the Men in Black style grabs for technology, or like the people that have recordings or records of the thylacoleos, of the thylacines, and other cryptids. The government comes in and snatches them. Like, I think you were the one telling me some of these stories, and I heard others from some of the other groups who were hanging out with.
Yeah. So there's government secrets that are far and beyond what we would like for our knowledge of everything that's happening around the world, even now. But even falling down to simple animals that are stated as being cryptic, or extinct or extant, they're still being covered up for absolutely no reason, when we've got thousands of sightings of these animals all around Australia up till now, even from the date in which these animals, particularly the Tasmanian tiger, were known to have been extinct in 1936. And there's just continuous sightings even to this date, where people are viewing them. We had a sighting last week. So it's crazy how the government will still continue to cover these things up when how can you? Why would you? We've had yowie sightings. We had the yowie sightings. I think that went global. That was Gary Lynn and Dean Harrison. They're a couple of local boys. They also did you see that one, Brian?
No, I don't think I did.
Oh, it's fantastic. So the boys actually wanted to meet up with me 2 weekends ago, and it happened the weekend before. And what had happened was they, I think it happened a couple of weekends before that. Anyway, they had been out the bush just out the back here. So where I live.
Oh, yeah.
Where we went, a couple of the spots out the back there. That's where they found it. And
wow.
Yow had walked right up behind them, and they had it on thermal camera. And there were two guys walking kind of beeline right in front of each other. And this, 12-foot yowie walks in behind them. They heard nothing. They smelt nothing. They felt nothing. Absolutely nothing at all, except it came up on the thermal camera, this gigantic beast walking up behind them and then veered off the track. And another guy who's sitting on the computer while all of this is being recorded onto the computer has said to them, hey, has one of you guys walked off? And, has Gary walked off? Because Gary's quite a gruff looking guy. And he went, no, he's on the track with me. And he goes, you're never going to believe this. So, yeah, that's what actually just went viral. Yeah, and this is within 6 weeks, all within 6 weeks. So the boys met up with me 2 weekends ago, maybe 3 weekends ago now. And so they were giving me the full rundown of all of the excitement that's been going on for them. But they've actually, their Yowie's gone global. It was a big thing. Yeah.
What I would love to get is a DJI drone with a FLIR camera on it. So have a drone that can fly above the trees, up the mountains, have a 2, 3, 5 mile range, and be able to scan the whole landscape with a thermal imaging camera. They're as cheap as 15 grand.
As well. 2 reasons. One, because if I'm picking things up on the mountain, I need to know that this is what's actually happening.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
That would be amazing.
Be absolute scientific evidence that and proof. It's proof. As much as I can take people into the bush and say, hey, there's one over there, this is happening, that's happening. It's my word. You know what I mean? And it's only for the likes of yourself who's been out with me, who's experienced being out with me, that you can validate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would love to get one of those drones up.
Well, that might be on the to-buy list after I run a few more events and have the organization pay for my toy. But in all seriousness, I really want to get a drone again. After my next event or next time I get some extra cash, I want to buy a drone because I actually won a photography or an art show with the picture I took from the drone. I won most serene, and it was just an absolutely beautiful picture. It was.
You've always had a really good eye for things like that too, though.
Yeah.
It's like being up at Mount Warning. Remember when we were up at Mount Warning and all the fog came over the top? Oh my lordy, that was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the background. Let me see. Can we do? Oh no, it's not allowing me. But the background there is from that morning on Mount Warning or Wollumben.
I recognize it. That was from the platform, and you've shot out just as the fog was coming over.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
It was just,
wow. It was incredible, wasn't it?
I miss Australia. It was such an adventure, and you were probably one of the most adventurous aspects of my time in Australia. You really made it. Like the adventures we went on, even to the Bull's Head Tavern, that was a cool experience.
Oh, the Royal Bull's Head was creepy, wasn't it? I still recommend that place. I still always say to people, like, if you ever want a proper haunting experience, the Royal Bull's Head Inn is definitely the place to be. Yeah.
That was wild. I remember I was just in like kind of a dark gray polar fleece, and I had dark colored jeans on, and I was just kind of standing in the room just feeling what I felt. And I had people walk in and they screamed bloody murder. Like I had my flashlight off because I was just trying to see. It was so funny. They're like, "Oh my God, I thought you were a ghost." I'm like, "Isn't that what you were looking for? Like, what if you did see one?"
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Oh, then the one guy. The one guy that was.
that was the place where I'd seen that lady who actually haunts the house. I was talking to the guy who runs the tours there, and in the picture frame, and for some reason, it was the most weirdest thing. It's never happened to me before, and I don't know if it'll ever happen to me again. But it was pretty cool. And I'm just chatting away with him, and I look over to the picture frame, and out of the blue, this lady starts walking up the picture frame, walks around the balcony and into the side of the house, and I'm like, like the cuckoo moment. And I looked at him, and he goes, "Did you just see something?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah," to explain. And I'd explained it to him, and he goes, "Well, that would make sense." He goes, "That's actually her." He goes, "No one's ever seen anything walk through a picture frame before." He goes, "But that's her." And he goes, "And the front doors used to be around the side. That's why she would walk around the side. That's why she went there, to show me that that's what she was." Yeah, it was incredible. It was incredible. I've never seen it before. That's never happened to me before. So this place has definitely got all kinds of haunts going on.
Oh, yeah. Remember we got to the top of the steps and all of a sudden my lungs were burning and it felt like I couldn't breathe. I'm like, did someone die of consumption? And the woman kind of goes, "What?" I'm like, "Tuberculosis." She's like, "How did you know that?" I'm like, you know?
Yeah, a lot of people were feeling that, and they do, because that's what happens. When you're sentient like that, they really give it to you. The young boy, there was actually that photo that was taken with the young boy that was following me around. Remember, I kept saying that there was a young boy that keeps walking with me, and he got really cranky, and he was bullied a lot and stuff like that. Anyway, the girls downstairs ended up getting a photo of him. So
I remember that. The reflection.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
I do remember when you scared the hell out of everyone when you blew did you blow the conch shell?
Yeah, I think
it was the conch shell, because you're just like, whoa, in the middle of nowhere, tiny little town, quiet as anything. Everyone's freaked. And you were like, what?
Was it when I was clearing the one guy off? Like the one guy, he was bragging about, "Oh, I play with Ouija boards, I kick demons in the balls and blah, blah, blah." I'm like, dude, I wouldn't do that. And he's like, "Oh, I do it all the time." And then at the end, he's like curled up in a ball on the ground. He's like, "Oh, I'm in so much pain." I'm like, "Well, can I help you out there?" He's like, "I don't know what you can do." I'm like, "Well," he's like, "Whatever, go for it." So I just yank all the entities off of him. And all of a sudden he's like, "The pain's gone. How did you do that?" I'm like, "Meh, I know some things."
Yeah. There's a difference between actually dealing with demons. I mean, this kid would probably, never mind.
And then everybody lined up for me to clear them afterwards. Remember that? There's this like line.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was good. Yeah, we had a great time.
Yeah, we went on some
places. We're actually
really
talking
cool
about
adventures.
Pardon?
We went on some really cool adventures.
Yeah. The events, I haven't done too many events because of obviously with the business and stuff like that. But I'm looking at doing a really big one coming up. It's going to be probably 2-week event. We're going to go and hit the Pilliga, the Watergans. We're going to knock down some places along the way as we head down towards Melbourne. So we're going to kind of do a loop from the Gold Coast down inland. So I don't know if you know much about the Pilliga, but that's where all of the truckies don't stop.
No, I'm not familiar with that one.
It's a good spot. It's a good spot. So that's my main game, is to get there. And then we're going to go down through to the Otways where the big black cats are. And just do what I do. Find some spots and pull up. And if I target something along the road, then we'll stop and we'll research and get all the equipment out and do what we do. See what we find.
Why don't they stop? Why don't the truck drivers stop there?
It's too dangerous. They've just had too many things go wrong, where they just get scared out.
What are some of the stories?
Because it's angry Yowie territory. They're known to be aggressive, those ones.
What type of Yowie is it?
They're aggressive.
Okay, I don't hear if you said the name or not, but I was going to ask, to talk about the different types of Yowie. I know the Gingities are the little 3-4 foot one, like 1 meter high ones that are playful and kind of interesting, and then there's the gentle giants, which are like the mountain giants, which are like 4 meters tall, so like 12 to 20 feet tall, and then the standard ones are like 7 to 12, but the 6 foot ones are the aggressive ones. I don't remember if Wurunga gave us a specific name of them or not.
Yeah, I'm not too up to date with that, mainly because I'm just researching the areas that we research. And I've not been presented with any of those other ones yet. I don't really know. They differ. So I think with Katie knows a lot more about that, like where they are. I tend to just zone into my stuff that I look at. I don't really go out of the spec until it presents itself, and then I'll be able to research that and know where to find them to be able to research that. But at this point, it's just no, for me, it's just no point in doing that. I like to stick to what I know, where I know, until I need to expand on that.
We should definitely eventually go back to Hawaii when everything isn't a prison colony and all locked down in Australia and even Hawaii. Hawaii is really locked down right now. It's a medical dictatorship. So once everything's reopened and the world, gets some common sense and acts like normal people again, we should go to Hawaii, and I will connect you with Keone. Keone is just amazing. He is royalty, and he's off the charts in his abilities. So I'd love to introduce you, especially because your heritage is from the Polynesian Islands and Hawaii. So then we could maybe meet up with your other relatives and take you to some really cool places. Show you some of the spiritual things, the cryptids.
Some of those photos that you sent me were incredible. Just next level gorgeous.
Yeah. I miss Hawaii.
These are some pretty sensational places, though. You've gotten around.
Yeah. I'm very blessed. When the door opens, I step through it. I've gotten so many opportunities that I only get because I say yes. I go, hey, I have a chance to go here. Let's do it. I have a chance to find a happy life in Australia, and I did it. And it went sideways and went in a different way, which you are very, very familiar with. You were there, my shoulder to cry on and my support system the whole time. But it all worked out. I came out with a beautiful son in the end.
Did you ever find those photos of the white yowie coming down that gum tree?
I can look. There's a section of my photos
that was sent through.
Oh, I think we lost you. Okay, are you back? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
There is a period of time where I cannot locate the photos. It was from like May till June or July. That little swatch of photos is gone, and I think that's from when those were. I have to go and look for it.
Okay.
I have.
If we can find those, they will be remarkably helpful.
Okay, I'll look for
Talked
them.
about it. And I mean, obviously, with you now gone, it was you, Katie, and myself. Oh, and Olivia. And, you know, between the four of us, there's only so many witnesses that are actually with me on a regular basis. You're
Yeah.
not there. Olivia's never around. Katie's down the coast, you know.
So have you heard from Liv?
No, she pops on Facebook from time to time, but don't really talk.
Huh.
We've
I haven't heard
been
from her.
meaning to catch up with her up at Mount Morning. She's a lovely girl.
Yeah. So I did have a question about a couple other cryptids.
Sure.
The first is one that you personally experienced and witnessed: the giant wombat, the mega. Oh, I can't remember the name of it, but the giant wombat.
Yeah. This will be the first time I'm talking about this on a live stream. You realize that? Thanks for bringing it up.
I asked the good questions.
Oh, that's one thing you kind of don't want to poke. Okay, so that is, it was known as the old megafauna of Australia. And I was driving down, we're about an hour north of Melbourne. And I was just driving at night. It was about, I don't know, 12:30, 1:30, so through the night. Probably about a kilometre, maybe 2 kilometres in front of me, you could see the truck lights slam on their brakes. And we're on the main highway. We seen the truck, and I said to my daughter next to me, keep your eye out for a truck to be slamming on their brakes. Trucks don't slam on their brakes for kangaroos. They'll just plow straight through them, you know. So I said to my daughter, keep an eye out, because obviously for a truck to be slamming on its brakes, there's something ahead. She's like, yep, got it. Now, my daughter at the time, she's 16, and we were traveling Australia at the time. So this was very not, it was quite a common thing for us to drive through the night. And, we just, as we were approaching, there was this gigantic ball of fur, what looked like the body of a huge polar bear. And fur, it was just this massive. Now, I was in a Tarago, so I'm sitting quite high, as you do in the larger vehicles. And as we were approaching, the bottom of the hump on the body was my eye height. And I thought, wow. And this thing's sitting like on its legs. It was like crouched down on its legs, like you'd imagine a cat, So then you've got this big pouch, and the cats will sit on their hands, on their legs. And I said to and as we're sort of approaching, the headlights hit while it was eating something off the side of the road. I couldn't see an animal or anything, so I wasn't sure what it was doing, but its face was down. And as it's lifted, it's gone really slow, and it turns its head, looks at us, and then slowly, as we're driving past in just an absolute gobsmacked amazement, it just turns its head and puts its head back down. This thing had round ears, big like pouch nose, and these great big eyes. So it was the weirdest thing. And if I could find, I'll just hold on. I'll just note wrong draw. I actually drew it. Did I show you the drawing?
No, you didn't. That would have been awesome to see.
Okay. Hold on a second. I'm just
sure.
Next to all of my other secret things. Okay. I'll just set that up. So in this is my little busty. This is where I've been caught out numerous times, okay? So my cousin took this. This was the little booklet that remember when I told you the story about how I'd seen the Tasmanian tiger, and then a year didn't tell anyone for a year, didn't think anyone would ever believe me. And then my cousin wanted to see my sketch diary of all the things that I'd drawn when you couldn't take a photo. You just, so I would photographically memorize it and then draw them out. So this is what got me in trouble. This is how she got me into the thylacines. Okay, so I'm just going to flick through and find. So we just do like random things like the World War. I don't know if you can see that. So it was like the World War II cave bunker.
Oh, yeah.
It's a World War II bunker. Just places that we'd stayed. Where are we at? First time I'd ever seen a bandicoot, so I drew it.
Oh, cool.
And it was eating the food off our plates. It was the cutest thing ever. Just places, things like that. So that's like a little community place that we'd stayed, and they had like a fate thing, but it was just good for the kids. Home Hill, I drew that one because that was the first Home Hill's known as the one of the first towns. So up in that region there, it's quite and it's like the only rail that goes right up north. So here, are you ready for it? No,
yes,
I'm not a guru, as you can see.
This is riveting. Your international debut.
This is the Tasmanian tiger.
Yeah.
So, and then that was the big wombat. I'm trying to think of the name. It's
Mega. I remember you told me. I just can't remember.
So in here I've written, I know it, and that's so bad because it's not something you'd easily forget, but for some reason I have.
Diprotodon.
Okay, what did we see? Because the only descriptive thing is an extinct tiger and wombat. In the light of high beam, it looked tan to creamy colour, sat as high as my windscreen. Spotted this huge mammal north of Melbourne about an hour feeding on roadkill roo. There you go. It's a good thing to go back to these notes.
Okay.
It sat laying and as high as Miki, that's my daughter, Miki and I sat in our car way eye level. Oh, so it was our eye level. The hump of the body was our eye level. And when it raised its head, I can't really read that. When it raised its head, the color of the fur appeared light, but again, it looked like the extinct wombat. So I'll put it back up, and you can have a better look. I just got to line it up with the camera. Can you see that?
That is really cool.
It was massive. This thing was huge. So you can imagine when it lifted its head up, it sort of just popped its head up, turned and looked at us, and then popped its head back down.
Oh, okay. That's in the background. Let me see if I can. Yeah. How do I get rid of the pictures? No.
The only thing with the one that you're showing, I would push the nose in a bit more. So where that grey patch to the black lining of the nose, of the wet nose area, it would probably be pulled in a bit more. It was as long as that we could tell, but we're flying past it at 120, so 100, 100 on Victorian roads.
Oh, I so
wasn't
would have stopped. That would have been absolutely incredible. And actually, I put.
Well, because we didn't stop with the Tasmanian tigers. Absolutely not. If that thing stands up, did you see the size of that thing? If that thing stands up and decides to put its foot on the car, we're all dead. Absolutely not. No way. And the other thing too, I was flying into Proserpine Airport at the beginning of this year. End of last year, beginning of this year. Anyway, a few months back. And I think there may be some out there, because as we were flying in, there's no way in the world that these things were cattle. They were monstrous. And when you see the tops of the trees and when you get down the ground and you look up and see how high the trees are and how much canopy is on the trees, there's no way that these things were as big as the canopies on the trees. And I thought, ding, 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 this place is going to be researched.
Oh, wow.
I think they're up there. Vast land, absolutely empty, nothing there, just arid bushland, like you're flying over the outback.
Where's that?
And I said there was two of them. So I'd seen one started running towards the other one as the plane starts flying over, and I'm thinking, geez, they must be massive. They must be like, what are those other buffalo? I'm thinking they must be buffalo, and then as I was sort of looking, and as you do, being a researcher, you know, you kind of look around at it, you spot everything, you do size comparison, everything, you make sure you see everything, and I thought, there's no way buffalo. There's no way in the world buffalo would be that big. That's very big. Oh, is that? Oh,
that is one of the Glasshouse Mountains.
How do we move those?
I'm trying to see how I can. It didn't work.
Nope. Oh God, I look terrible. What a way to come in and. I've been on a construction site all day.
Oh no, that's fine. The stories are what. Yeah, that's the most important thing, to just get your story out there. And
my work hair.
So wow, that's so amazing. I want to get back to Australia. It's just the borders are shut right now. Nobody in, nobody out. It's a prison colony.
Gold Coast is shutting down again.
Medical dictatorship.
We're going to do it again.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh. Again, it is what it is. I mean, there's not a lot that anyone can really do about it until everybody decides to stand up and say no more. But until then,
we need to take some hits from the French. You know, Viva la Revolution, right? That's on stage.
I don't know how often that's going to work.
There's one cryptid I probably asked you about, but I don't remember what your response was. What about the Burringer?
The what?
The Burringer.
What's that?
Up in the Northern Territory, there's a T-Rex style cryptid up there. And even up in Papua New Guinea.
You told me about that, and then I realized that I'd remembered there were a few people talking about it. Yeah. It's not Mount Isa. It's not. I forget where it is. But it's right up north, right inland too. But they've actually had quite a few Tasmanian tiger sightings. I mean, that area up there is so empty of people. So anything could live out there. And I'm talking thousands of hectares, thousands and thousands of hectares untouched by person, anyone. It's incredible. Anything could live there and no one would know.
That would be amazing. I heard stories from Papua New Guinea of a T-Rex style dinosaur up there. The Army Corps of Engineers during World War II supposedly got a picture of it, and this was in the classified photos leaked or released. So that's right up there near Papua New Guinea. So it wouldn't be too hard to imagine that it's in that region. So that's really cool to think about.
I do know, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Rex Yappy.
No.
He's the only cryptozoologist in Papua New Guinea. He's also titled to the chief. His father's the chief.
Oh, that's the one that invited you up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he looks for ropens, and they're like the plesiosaurus, but they call them ropens where they are from.
Do you mean pterodactyl or pteranodons?
Plesiosaurus. Yeah.
Pterosaurus.
Not the pterodactyl. It's not a pterodactyl. It's a different one.
Plesiosaurs are the one with the long neck, almost like a whale with a really long neck. And is that the one he's talking about, or the flying ones that glow?
Yeah, the flying. No. But they're wait. The plesiosaurus. No. Oh my gosh. Wait. The plesiosaurus. Plesiosaurus, is that the one that's in the water?
Yes.
Okay, no, that's the one. No, we've just had a sighting here in the Brisbane River. Yeah, that's why I'm getting that one confused, because it's exactly the same. It actually looks exactly the same as the one that Rex was looking for but he calls them the ropen. I'll get you the photo, actually. Where's my phone? Give me a second. I need to exit this.
In the Brisbane River? You said it was?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Pardon?
Yeah, nothing's coming up. I'm like, I just did a quick Google search to see if I could find anything about it.
Pardon?
I was just trying to do a quick search to see if I could find anything about it, but nothing.
Yeah, no, it's one of those, it's sort of just started to it happened. I gotta go into Messenger. I'll get it sent back to me because it's in my other computer and I'm on my laptop just for quick purposes. And it's going to take forever. Why are you not working?
Okay, are you there?
There we go. No.
Okay.
Pardon? Oh, I'm here.
I think I'm echoing through Facebook. That's probably where the problem was.
Pardon?
Earlier with the echo, I was probably echoing through Facebook. So you're listening to me on Facebook and entering in through StreamYard.
Okay. There we go. There he is. Oh, computer's deciding to be monkey.
I want to get your cousin on sometime soon. I haven't talked to him much lately, but I really want to know more about his Maori history and what he knows, and I'd love to talk to him more and get him on the show here. And he's got so many stories he can tell, and I just love to hear about New Zealand and everything he has to share. He's such a cool guy.
No, that's... Oh, yeah. Yeah, look, he... sorry, I'm trying to get through these chats, and he's I actually haven't seen him. He well, I had a chat to him. It's his birthday today, actually.
Oh, it's his birthday today?
Yes. He's sorry, I'm just trying to get my messenger up to be able to text my friend to get him to send me this. Oh, it's just taking far. It's not rhododon, diprotodon. That's the big wombat.
Yeah.
The diprotodon. I knew I'd remember it. Takes me a while for the cogs to kick in. Oh, wow. Oh, no, that's you. Hold on. All right. Let me shut that one down. Try and make some room. There we go. Let's see if that will bring it up. Might have to send it to you outside of the streaming. Okay. So this is through Glenn. Now Glenn runs my page. Do you remember Glenn? No, I haven't sent it yet.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember Glenn?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. He's just got a new doll. So Luca's started to play up again. Remember the haunted doll?
Oh, yeah. I think so.
Oh, what's that? Oh, why can't I... Give me a second. No, this doesn't work. Where are we going? I probably should have jumped on my other computer and done this because then I can split the screens. Actually, I'll do that now. Just reduce that. Move that there. Nope, not that one. Right. Can you please send? Alrighty, I'll just wait to see his response once he gets back to me. Oh, did that even send? Can you please send me the pic of the thing in the Brisbane River plesiosaurus thing? Alrighty. We'll just, he should send that through pretty quickly. Yeah, so he's got himself a new doll. So Haunted Luca, the YouTube channel.
Huh.
You remember Haunted Luca?
Vaguely. It's been a little while. It's been a minute.
He's just come back with okay. So Haunted Luca, remember the big jester dolls at his house? Did you? I think we went to his house. I'm pretty sure you went to his house.
Is that where we stayed?
He had all the antique stuff.
Is that where we stayed in not Toowoomba, but Ipswich?
No. No, no.
Okay.
Glenn's the guy who runs my Parakrypt page.
Okay. It's been a minute. I'd probably, if I saw his face, I would know who is who. But everybody's kind of
Yeah.
running together right now.
Yeah. So no, he got a new jester doll. They're calling her Auntie, and this one's pretty creepy. It's like we're all
Why?
kind of like, ooh. They're
Yeah,
haunted.
no thing. I get rid of objects like that. I clean objects like that. I'm not.
Uh-huh. He is, I don't know how he does it. I would not be that brave. But, you know, they have a lot of dark stuff happen in their house too from it. So,
Yeah, no, I get rid of that stuff. I don't bring it in. That's no.
you and most of the except men. Yeah, not a fan.
I was trying to see if we could get Brendan on, but he's not picked up his messages. So, oh well, that'll be another time. We're actually at like an hour and a half, just past an hour and a half. We probably should wrap it up sometime soon, and it is 1:11. So it's pretty early in the morning here.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I forget your time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been interesting because I'm always changing time zones. I was Australia, I was Hawaii, and then I was California for a minute, Colorado for a second. What's that?
Where are you?
I am in Ohio right now.
Right, so you're home.
Yeah, I'm
Ish.
at my parents' estate right now. So out in the countryside of Amherst by Vermilion, right by Lake Erie, about 5 miles from Lake Erie.
Oh, he sent them through. Where do you want me to send them?
Just send them to me on Messenger, and I can try and figure out how to get them up on the screen.
Okay. Okay, that's that one.
Okay, let's see. As yet, my internet is being very. Wait, what happened? Oh no, I did the wrong thing. It jumped me into StreamYard.
Yeah, it just did. It weirdly did it me too. As much as I've tried to send, I'm not even sure if it sent them through. But mine is lagging terribly as well.
Yeah. Hang on. If you want, you can keep talking. I'll be right back in just a second.
Okay.
Just a second.
I'm just going to try and flick this through and see if I can get it. And serious lagging. Ah, it's that moment where you decide that you want to just shut the computer and move on to the next moment in your day. No, okay, we're going to shut that one down. Okay, refresh. See if that does help. it's still refreshing. Unresponsive exit page. Okay.
Okay, did you get it?
I'll shut that down and I'll start a new
I
page.
still have not received it yet.
And get that one back. No, because it just sort of blank. So I'm just rebooting a new page, a new tab, and then I will resend.
Okay, I don't know why the internet's being so sketchy.
Well, we have kind of talked about some pretty weird things, and you know what happens when weird things get spoken about.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Like, I'm really surprised they haven't black magged me yet. Do I have to pull a John McAfee and get the tattoo whacked? You know, like, you know, you know, like, oh, I stumbled into some top secret shit in my class that I thought I was streaming. However, the microphone was turned off. So when I actually put the person into hypnosis and we revealed a lot of top secret information, it was not being broadcast to the internet. So that saved my ass. It was pretty cool. Oh, you froze there.
How did you get through that?
What's that?
Yeah. Oh, here. It's just doing its ugly thing.
Oh, okay.
Right. Give me half a second. We've been doing some new areas up at the Glasshouse Mountains.
Oh, very
because cool. After we did the documentary and they named the locations, so the places that we took you, they moved on. So now we're on the hunt to try and find them again.
Oh.
The Yowies, yeah. So we've been scouting new locations. Oh, please don't do this. Apparently they don't want to be shared.
I wouldn't be surprised. Do you have Telegram yet? Telegram is an encrypted messenger that, you know, so everything you do or say on Facebook or YouTube is constantly being scanned and monitored. Like, we probably have a dozen 3-letter organizations watching us because we've hit so many buzzwords. Yeah, so yeah, seriously,
right,
don't know how they haven't blackmailed me. Yeah, for anyone watching, I'm not suicidal, so if I disappear or have a car accident, you know what happened to me.
Oh, neither am I. I'm not crazy. It's just one of those actual things. Okay, here we go. So I think I've got... All right, here we are. 1. No, I'm not replying. I'm forwarding. What? I would just comment if I reply. Oh, my lordy. I'm forwarding. What? Forward.
Let's see.
Forward. Crossing fingers.
I think I got a comment from Brendan, but I didn't see him on. I'm not sure where. It said I got a comment from him, but I didn't see it pop up in the stream so I could share it. Brendan, I sent you, if you're watching, I sent you the link.
He's probably celebrating. He no doubt would have had all of his boys catching up with him. He's quite the What the hell? Oh, my lordies. Please stop it. It's just going to be a pain in the bum again. No doubt as soon as we stop the stream, I'll be able to send it to you.
Well, did
But
I
right
tell you
now-
about what happened when I was on top of Mauna Kea? There was something that I wasn't supposed to see that I saw, and I was on a live stream, and my friend Fabi, she goes, "Look up." I'm like, "What is that?" You know, and she goes, "Yeah." And all of a sudden, I took the camera to look up on it, like on the phone, and all of a sudden, all cell phone signal was cut. My cell phone didn't have reception. Her cell phone didn't have reception. And within 30 seconds, park rangers were up there. Luckily, there's other people. So, you know, they asked us what we were doing up there. And we said we're doing ceremony and meditating and connecting with the mountain. We didn't tell them we're doing a live stream because they're looking for the people that were doing the live stream, which was actually us. So they wanted to debrief us
What did
on
you
what we
say?
saw. But they cut us off instantly. So they watch what you're doing. So,
What was it that you seen, though?
well, I'll tell you when we're not live.
Oh, I see. Ask me about the diprotodon that I never want to talk about.
Well, the diprotodon isn't going to come and black bag you.
This is true. It's not allowing me to forward it. Oh, here we go.
Oh, did it work?
I think so.
I heard it ring through. I think I got it. See, 3
Have you got
photos.
it? Yeah.
I'm
You got
looking.
it.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, yeah. Is that picture sideways, or I'm trying to figure out what I'm looking at?
First one. So this is taken with a, a fisherman's boat, and he's taking sonar of what's underneath. So you know how they have that like little map thing that shows them sonography of the water. So that was like the first picture, and then the second picture explains, you know, where they were, what they were doing. So you've got the guys who took it and their actual post. And then the third picture should be the close-up of it, where they were looking at it and they were like, is that they were thinking, is it a crocodile? Is it a, but then the closer that you sort of zoom in on it, crocodiles don't look like that.
It looks like a
And it was
mosasaur.
too long, like it was too big for it to be a crocodile. And too deep. And so the size of it, when they looked at the ratio.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a plesiosaur. It looks like a mosasaur, which I would not rule out in Oz. Everything there wants to kill you.
Except for me.
Let me see if
I mean, some of the people you met were a little sketchy.
It was yeah. Oz.
La la. Well, there you go. So that's that one.
Okay, so I am gonna try and figure out.
Really knows
how
what it
to
was.
Share. I'm not actually familiar with how to share on here. So let me. Okay, that's backgrounds. What if I go overlay? So that is a mosasaur. So to me, that's what that looks like.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can see that.
So what I can do next is come up, and so this is their sonar scan, I want to say. You see how it's got the almost like crocodile looking snout, and then the fins off to the side.
Yeah,
And I'm not sure
I
if
can
that
see
could have
that
been
for
its
sure. Yeah.
tail, like that. Another fin there. Maybe the other fin was underneath of it or something, and then that could be its tail right there. But to me, that looks very much like that. Not a plesiosaur, but a mosasaur.
I'll see how you can see that.
A plesiosaur has a really long neck, and I don't see a long, skinny neck. I see a very kind of stout, crocodile-esque looking head like that. So, very cool.
Yeah, that. I didn't know that what that was. Like a what is it? What do you call it?
A mosasaur.
All right, I'm just going to message him and then see if that. I mean, he'll be able to look that up then. Mosasaur. How do you spell that?
Let me try and find it. I'll send you the picture, and it might have the name on it. Oh, no, it does not. Okay, let me...
So, Mosasaur. M O, no. It's decided to freeze on me again.
Mosasaur. And that was in the Brisbane River?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything in Oz wants to kill you, including the guys at the pub.
Including the guys at the pub. Unless you're a good-looking female. In that case, it becomes a meat dungeon.
Yeah.
Ugh. I've been going out.
Oh, really?
Been having a little life. I have. I know. Oh my goodness. Been venturing into the concrete jungle a bit lately.
Well, I have more questions, but
yes,
it is getting late. We're coming up on 1:30 a.m. here. We've been going.
You kind of caught me off guard there. I was just I just got home from work, which I never am home this early. So that was good to catch you. And because you keep asking me, and I'm like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, oh, I'll probably look terrible, but stop it.
Divine rendezvous. I tell you what, there's been times where one time I was talking about, I'm going to do ceremony back in my vortex. And all of a sudden I had like three people pop up. Hey, I'm on the way. Let's come out. They did it. And the very next day we had a big ceremony out in the stone circle, almost like a mini Stonehenge we created back in the forest on my parents' estate. So it was really cool. And obviously it was meant to be. We've been talking about getting you on for years now, and all of a sudden it just happened. So I'm so grateful for you to come on. It was great catching up, and we definitely should do this more often.
Yeah, definitely. There's so much to talk about, on all different levels of things. So you can't always just do it on the one live show. I've been doing a lot of live shows with Casey Radio as well. So I'm used to them now. Not so nervous as I was before when we first started filming. Although I do forget things pretty quickly. I've come down with a little ear infection. Only today my face started swelling. I don't know if you can tell. I kind of just hide it with my hair. Yeah, I've got to go to the doctor. Well,
were you swimming in a nasty water source or something?
I don't know. I just woke up with it.
Oh, okay. Hydrogen peroxide and isopropyl alcohol mixed at a 50-50 ratio, and you put that in your ear after you swim, that can prevent you from getting swimmer's ear or an ear infection. So if you're like swimming in a river or something where it's not really clean water, that'll kind of help prevent that from happening.
I want to talk to you about, which we can jump offline and let you go to bed, but at another time. I've been having the calling for that spirit journey that you were wanting to take me on.
Oh. So, like a mushroom journey, are you talking about?
I don't know. It's been happening for like probably 3 months now where they're consistently, you need to do this, you need to take this journey. And I'm like, no.
I actually just, I know someone that just got in touch with someone that does journey work there. I actually know a few people that do journey work. Did you meet her? There's one friend up in Croy. I made just a lovely, beautiful soul. And she does journey work. So I don't know if she's currently doing it. She's been very busy off on other ventures, so I don't know if she's hosting journey work or not. I should see if she wants to come on. She'd be a very interesting interview to have on. Would love to have her on. Yeah, I have so many friends that I want to get on. I need to do this more often. It's so much fun. I really enjoy having everybody on. Yeah. But I can ask around and see if
theme just flew out the window as soon as you seen my name pop up. You're like, come on. I'm like, I don't know anything about Independence Day. I'm in Australia.
Yeah. I was kind of ranting about some of the stuff and, our freedoms that have been eroded and how our Constitution is being overrode by a medical dictatorship. And, yeah. But a big part of the class was
around the world right now. It's just another colonization of a different form.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's call it COVID. It's like,
yeah.
It's not the British. It's just COVID.
It's just the crown, the corona, which is ironic.
Yeah.
I came on to talk about my classes as well. So on July 7th at 7 p.m., I have my next class. I've been doing a lot of marketing material. So I put that together and I've been trying to put ads out there. I'm going through the business launch program with Wild Success. And so I'm launching my webinar next week on 7/7 at 7 p.m. New York time. Then on July 31st and August 1st, I'm hosting my next class of the Spark of the Phoenix. I don't think you heard about it, but the last one I ran was absolutely amazing. I did so many hypnosis exercises in like really deep penetrating interviews and got out people's blocks, uncovered a lot of top secret information in the process. It was absolutely amazing. Everybody loved it. It was life-changing. I got some amazing reviews from it. So I'm so excited about running it again. I want to have at least 100 to 1,000 people in a class. Now this venue that I'm holding it at, maybe I can get 25 to 50 people in it. So I want to get some people in the class. So I'm going to hold webinars and tell people what it's about. and hopefully get some people in the Ignite the Phoenix is the webinar. So it's that first kind of like looking at what's possible, then going into Spark of the Phoenix really starts to clear out the stuff, really gets you on the path, starts figuring out what you want in your life, how to get it, how to clear the blocks. Then the Flames of the Phoenix, that's going to be the next class, which is really, I'm going to toss the syllabus out and we're going to go through and I'll have like one line. Okay, this chapter of the class, we're going to talk about, this block, maybe a money block, maybe a love block, maybe, oh, okay, great. I'm going to write this stuff down because I really like that. So, yeah. So, like the pillars of people's lives, what are some of the biggest areas? Health, addictive
Health,
behaviors,
wealth, love, your addictions, your codependencies, like your personal relationships, your triggers, what triggers you. What you find to use as a crutch in life. And also going to the positive side of things, where what makes you happy. Because, a lot of the times when people tend to go through, what people hold on to and they think is their happiness turns out to be their one demise within their social character or within their personal characteristics, or do you know what I mean? Like what they think is their strength turns out to be their weakness. So you kind of have to focus on the positives as well.
So that's great. So just like one line, okay, this chapter is money, this chapter is love, and just kind of go in and look at, now this one, the Flames of the Phoenix, I'm going to have it a smaller class size. So it's going to be a lot more personal. I ran this class and Spark of the Phoenix, which is kind of the core curriculum, simultaneously. So it was a small group with not really knowing everybody, and it was kind of being a cat herder, trying to keep everybody in line and keep the class somewhat on the syllabus. So the format, of a fewer people and more personable, that's going to be the Flames of the Phoenix and the Rise of the Phoenix retreat. So I'm excited about the Rise of the Phoenix retreat. Rise of the Phoenix retreat. So it's going to be in somewhere cool, maybe Costa Rica, because you can do journey work there. Maybe Mexico. I don't know how the legality of journey work there is. Vanuatu, I know journey work is legal there. So finding somewhere warm, tropical, and beautiful where we can do journey work, still have internet would be nice so I can broadcast. No, actually, this won't be broadcast. This will be, you got to come here to experience it. It's going to be very exclusive. You get selected to be in this. So you have to go through the Spark of the Phoenix, the Flames of the Phoenix, to then rise, the Rise of the Phoenix. So this is going to be people that I hand select from the classes. So I know that they truly desire to change their life. They truly are going to put the work in. They're truly dedicated in being open-minded and taking advice, being open to healing. So I'm so excited. I have to run the core program, the Spark of the Phoenix, a few more times to get people in the Flames of the Phoenix. And then once I run those a few times, I'll have a good group of people I can pull from that we just click. This is going to be very important. This is going to be a very intimate class. Everybody's going to know each other, and we're probably going to walk out friends, the whole group. Because it's going to be that transformational. It's going to be that massive. And then, so during the day, we'll have classroom time, which is basically just going to be kind of almost a group coaching session out on the beach or somewhere tropical and beautiful. We're going to be hanging out. We're going to be going through stuff, talking about people's lives, going, okay, well, did you think about it like this? Where's the block? Okay, when you get close to it, you start to feel anxiety. What's that pointing at?
Yeah.
Doing hypnosis, putting people under and kind of, okay, truth, where is this coming from? Taking them back to the original wound, whether it's this lifetime, another lifetime, and then at night doing journey work. So either mushrooms, MDMA, if there's a need for trauma healing, peyote. I love peyote. Really beautiful experience. So that would be amazing to be able to do a retreat like that. So, but the next one coming up,
I think, and that's what what's sort of been calling to me, is that I need to possibly go through that journey, that transcendence, ascending. I think I'm kind of just at a point where I can't, even meditating and stuff like that's put me I'm sort of blocked in even meditating. Like I just can't seem to go any further than where I go. And that's when I'm also getting like, it's time. Like, and remember before when I was like, no, I'm fine, I'm good where I'm at. And you were like, no, you need to come. I need to put you through this journey. It's your time. No, it's not. I'm really good.
Yeah, you're like, nope, I'm all good. I'm not.
I was still good at what I was doing. I just wasn't ready. Yeah, so I think now they've sort of put the calling in for me to dip my toe down that avenue, and I'm not a big fan of that, but I got to do what they want me to do in order to see what they want me to see, because they're not showing me any other way.
It's a complete different experience. Like they use it in Silicon Valley. A lot of LSD they use in Silicon Valley because it completely changes the way you can think and see things. So instead of thinking about it here, you're thinking about it up there. So it completely changes your perspective, and you can see a much, much larger view of it. Your processing capacity, you're not just using your physical brain, you're using your etheric, like processing. It's really, you can think, lifetimes of information in a few minutes, as opposed to, using this clunky brain. It's really amazing. So that's definitely something we'll have to try and figure out how to accommodate for you, or somehow you escape the country and flee over to the land of the free.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening. I could jump ship. I mean, that's how they used to do it years ago, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, right now it sounds.
Day.
They always talk about the boat people coming into the country. Well, they're going to have the boat people leaving the country, people hopping on boats, smuggling people out of Australia.
Yeah. I think I'll be first on that.
Yeah.
You crack up.
Oh, man.
It was really good to see your face. Not sure about the beard,
Oh, you don't like it?
Is it summer over there?
Yeah, it's July 4th, which is kind of the middle of summer. It's the high point of summer. It's really hot, really beautiful. We have lightning bugs. So like the glowworm cave in
I've seen
Springbrook. You know the glowworm cave there?
Glen.
So we have little bugs that fly and bioluminesce. So you can look and you just see all these little flashes out in the bushes. It's really amazing. I've
seen them up mid to North Queensland. First time they were flying in our camp.
Oh, wow.
I could not believe what I was seeing. It was the most incredible thing. They're beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Yeah. So, for you to have them there. But isn't it quite cold where you are?
Not in the summertime, although I can't even do the Celsius conversions. Right now, we're getting up into the high 80s, 90s maybe, and down into the 60s. So at night, or if we get a cold front, it might be into the 60s, going up into the 90s on some hot days. But it's pretty comfortable right now. However, in wintertime in Ohio, it's just above freezing and nasty. We might get some snow, then it melts and it becomes this giant mud pit of near kind of half frozenness, but it's all muddy and we don't get sun for months on end. So we might go a month or two without even seeing the sun.
Like it's dark.
I need to move out. Like there's a reason I left and was living in the tropics for 3 years. I need to get out of the cold. And I came back and I spent winter time in Duluth, which is even colder than Ohio, which I actually liked more than Ohio. Ohio, you have 4 seasons. You have winter, still winter, road construction, and almost winter. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of it. But Duluth, there's winter and a little bit of less cold period than winter again. It is really brutally cold, but the snow stays there. So everything was all snowy and beautiful. It was like a winter wonderland. So I got to experience that, and the lake is so beautiful. Lake Erie is kind of too thick to drink, too thin to plow. It's really kind of muddy water. It's like a small inland ocean, but it's the smallest of the Great Lakes, and it's kind of meh. It's very warm. I was just up there the other day. It's almost bath temperature. Really warm water to swim in. Yeah. However, it's really murky and kind of smells like seaweed and dead fish. Lake Superior is the deepest of the lakes, and it was just crystal clear water. Just absolutely gorgeous, juxtaposed against the mountains that go right up to the lake. Duluth is absolutely beautiful up there. Minnesota, actually, even beyond Duluth, when you get up into Twin Harbors or Grand Marais, that's when it gets really, really beautiful. So there's little people out on an island out there. I did Jared, I can't remember his name, but I got on and did an episode with him, live stream, and we talked about the little people out on some of the islands out there.
Oh, I think I've seen that one.
Oh, yeah. And then they have Bigfoot.
Short brown-haired guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught that one. Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting, that one, because he seemed to know quite a lot, and he was quite reserved as well in a lot of ways, and I thought, yeah, he knows more than he's letting on.
Yeah.
Ah, excellent. Okay.
Well, we are now past 2 hours, so we probably should call it.
This is what happens. We always get on, and then we just don't stop talking.
Yeah. Well, we got to do it more often. We haven't caught up in a long time, so we should do this more often. It was really cool.
I think the last time was probably... Oh, we've spoken twice since then, but the last time we actually video chat was August.
Yeah, was it when you're in quarantine, locked up and with Brendan?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's a long time.
Got to catch up more than that.
I know. Well, you know, it's the business. It's been taking me away from everything. I've just been trying to smash it, but now I'm like, there's other ways I can make money too. And so I need to start focusing on my tours. That's what I need to start doing. That was my main threshold there. And then I diverted off to start this other business. And now I'm going to start going back into that and get that kicking off. Yeah. But otherwise, everything's good. Everything's great. Everything's content.
That's great. I'm definitely trying to get Infinite Love Movement up and running. So I want to have a lot of guest teachers, have events where we have a lot of different speakers coming in all around the world. As soon as the world gets back to some semblance of logical thinking, I want to start booking these events, and I'd love to have you as a teacher, a guest speaker, something at some of these events, and just start making this big. I want to spread the abundance, spread the awareness, so have lots and lots of people come on board with this. It's a movement. It's not just about me. It's about changing the world.
I think, and that's the best part of it too, is that there are in your travels and in your journeys, you have met a lot of pretty special people.
Yeah.
And just to have everyone jump on board, just to chat even, and that's just enough insight for everyone else who tunes in.
Yeah.
But you've got a big plan for that. Like, that's huge.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
I think big. I plan big. It's empire. I'm going for empire. That's nothing shy of empire.
Yes. All right, my lovely. Empire. I'll let you go because it's quite late for you.
Yeah, 2 a.m. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was great catching up. I look forward to doing this again soon.
Yes.
We'll catch up and kind of debrief. Just stay on the camera, and I'll end the live stream, and there's a chat room we can talk afterwards.
Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah. Good night, everyone, to where it's good night, and great day to everyone where it's a great day. So thanks for watching. Love and light to everyone who watched. Thanks for watching.
We hope you enjoyed this video session. Please support the Infinite Love Movement by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. Visit theinfinitelovemovement.org to sign up for healing sessions, classes, and events with Brian.